Hello and welcome to La Jolla Home Theater and Automation's Tech Tip. My name is Paul Hager. Today we're going to be working with iPhoto and we're actually going to touch on the editing features in iPhoto. Yep, we're going to be working with the three different tiny little window panes that they give you for editing, but they offer a lot. And so for these tips and tricks and many more that go along with it, please feel free to join us during one of our iPhoto workshops here at La Jolla Home Theater Automation, in our Rancho Santa Fe store, or in our La Jolla store. Give us a call, hop online, you can RSVP by going to our website, and you can also be on our email list. So if you have any questions on that, feel free to give us a call, shoot us an email, stop by anytime, we're happy to help, okay? So without further ado, let's dive into iPhoto editing. Alright, so first thing we want to do is open up iPhoto. And anytime I'm working with iPhoto, I prefer to work full screen, so we're going to move into full screen mode. The way to get into full screen mode is through the very top right of iPhoto. There's a couple of arrows that are moving away from each other in a diagonal position. You want to click on those, or you can go to View, Enter Full Screen. For right now, I'm going to click these two little arrows moving diagonally in the top right, and that puts me in full screen. What you'll notice is we're selected on events over here, and I do have an event selected, Paul with the iPad at the beach. I'm going to go ahead and double click that event. You'll notice I gave it 3 stars. Not quite 5 stars, not at least until we edit it. So let's double click it again, and now we're in full screen mode. The first thing I want to do is open up my editing window pane over here on the right. So if I tap edit on the bottom right, I'll be able to open that up. And what you'll notice is there are 3 window panes. There's quick fixes, effects, and adjust. Starting with quick fixes, the first option is rotate. And that's basically going to rotate your picture, so anytime you have those upside down or to the left photos, you can rotate them around and straighten them out. The enhance button is basically going to enhance colors automatically, and it is a really nice tool and a very helpful tool for many people actually. I'm going to click it and you'll see it brightened up that background actually really nicely. Brought a lot more color into the photograph. And moving on down, we have fix red eye, and of course on this one we don't have any red eyes to fix, but you can fix it from right here. You can auto fix or move your cursor right or left under the size to choose the exact size of the eye that you're trying to fix that red eye for. Click right on the eye with that circle and it'll fix it. Next thing we have straighten, and in the straighten we can straighten it left or right, however we want to straighten our photograph. Next one is crop, and with crop you can choose a constrained size. In other words, check mark it here, that way it doesn't change size over here, or uncheck it, that way you can get a vertical crop instead of a horizontal one. So depending on what you want your crop to be or constraints, you can set all that accordingly. For right now, I'm going to leave it just like that. So I'm going to hit done. Next thing I want to do is offer a retouch over here. So for little blemishes, for example, like this bird chilling in the water over here, it might be a bird, or hopefully it's not a piece of trash in the ocean, but all I have to do is move my selector tool over here, my size tool, and I'll move it down to a smaller size because I want to pick the circle. If you notice a circle that's getting larger, that circle that's getting larger and small, I want to pick it so that it's the exact same size as my bird. So I'll put that circle right on top of the bird, click, and poof, iPhoto will pick pixels around it and basically make that bird disappear. So no matter what it is, we can make it disappear, like this little white spot right here, click, and it's gone. Same thing over here, click, and it's gone. And that's one of the great tools in iPhoto. Next, on the next window pane for editing, we have effects. We have our lighten, darken, contrast, saturate, warmer, cooler, all these different tools that we can use. Now the black and white and the sepia options are going to be pretty much on or off if you like black and white or sepia. Anytime you get to something like edge blur, if I click on it, what you'll notice right over here on the actual edge blur icon is a number 1. If I click on it again, number 2. And each time I click on it, you'll notice the blur over here right now, our couple in the sand is getting pretty blurred out. I'm going to keep going all the way up to the last option, and that's option 11. Can't go any higher than that, and as you can see, we completely blurred out this portion of the photograph, and the blur can be used for wispy type of photos or romantic photos, graduation photos, anything that you want to create a nice cherished memory. That blur is a nice little effect. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to the adjust window pane over here for editing, and what you'll notice is when I originally hit enhance, it works directly with the adjust window pane. And what I mean is you'll notice that this is at 4% instead of at 0. That means my enhancement changed my levels, my exposure, moved it from 0 to 0.29, moved my saturation to 54, which I'm going to go ahead and move that up a little bit more because I love those blue colors in the background, if you notice. I can go to definition, turn that up. Highlights, I can bring down those highlights, and as you can see, it really takes down the lighting. There's no real highlights in this picture. Shadows is real important because, as you can see, I'm really dark and I want to brighten up my picture. My t-shirt is just a little bit too dark. So now, by moving shadows up, I brightened up my t-shirt and my face. You can see the 5 o'clock shadow. Temperature and tint are down here, and if for any reason I'm unhappy with this picture, I can revert to the original. By hitting that, as you can see, it goes back to the original picture that we did. And that is pretty much it for iPhoto editing. I hope you enjoyed this quick little tech tip, and if you come down to our iPhoto course, you'll see this tech tip as well as many other ones with iPhoto, and our weekly tech tips, which, as you know, we go over a different tech tip every week. So we look forward to having you here at La Jolla Home Theater for one of our tech tips. My name is Paul Hager, and thanks again for joining us today. Have a great one. Bye-bye.